Hi, magical peeps. Practical Enlightenment Tip 8888 is that shortcuts. That's a question I want to ask you guys. Do you believe there are shortcuts in life? And my answer to that is no, I do not believe there are shortcuts in life. I would actually say that it can look like a shortcut when people approach certain things that seem like it's the short way in and through to where they want to go. But in reality, what I've come to learn that it's not actually really a shortcut. It actually is someone having done the study, the experience, the experimentation, the trials and errors and tribulations of success and failure, and put together through their own personal practice and mastery to be able to have all those pieces come together into a point, a tipping point that applied in a specific way is very masterful. And in that mastery, it can look like a shortcut to someone. Perfect example, when I see Sensei demonstrating his techniques, it looks like it's easy. It looks like he just did some kind of woo-woo shortcut to be able to take down the attacker in the most effortless way. But when you start to practice the techniques, the concepts that Sensei is sharing with you, you recognize there are a million bazillion pieces going into it. Where are you holding your weight? How are you holding the tension? How are you holding the connection with the attacker in such a way that has to be perfect as a way of talking about, which is not necessarily perfect. It's not this vacuum sealed. It has to always look like this. It's perfect and skillful in the very skillful, perfect moment of when that situation and relational dynamic is happening that gets affected, and affected in such an effective, successful way, it looks like huge success and shortcut. We don't have to fight the person with all that muscle and force. We can just do it so easily and effortlessly. So I also think of it in regards to the concept of nature and life in the world that we live in. That in essence, life and nature takes a very natural way of living. I wouldn't necessarily say linear, because sometimes a lot of things are happening at the same time in this natural force of how life flows. And it makes me think of a conversation I was having with a client the other day, because they just wanted a shortcut to life. They're like, I just already want to have my successful career. I already want to have that physique, that exercise, that fitness, health in my body embodied already now. I don't want to do all that work. I just want to be there already. And I laugh at that. I hear that. I recognize that. I want that too. I want to be a rich freaking millionaire, billionaire without doing any work. Thank you very much. But the reality of it is that there are no shortcuts in life. There are practices and techniques and routines and discipline and perseverance that we incorporate into our life, time, life, and mind in such a way that we become so efficient, proficient, so skillful to the point of mastery that we then look like we have shortcutted life, because all of a sudden it looks like we're coasting, we're having a grand old time, and everyone else behind us is working their butt off. And that simulates what I was mentioning to my client is, you think of a baby, a fetus in a womb. Mother Nature just go, oh, you know what? I'm so tired of growing this baby. So you know what? Let's just shortcut it and let's just take it out early. I was like, no, that is not how universe, the natural laws of nature work. There is a certain gestation time in the womb, because why? That time allows for things to grow, to develop, neural pathways, neurons, muscles, joints, limbs, bones. I mean, there's so much going on in the womb when you are growing a fetus and a baby inside you. So consider the next time that you want to take a shortcut. instead of doing the work, doing the studying, doing the practice, that would you really want to be that baby in the fetus? Be like, peace out. Can I just get the eggs hatch now? Because, I'm just tired of growing my little pinky. I don't need all 10 fingers. I'm good. Funny, not funny joke, right? That there are a cycle of things, a process of things, and life has that process. Our lives, what it is that we want to accomplish in our lives, has a process. Meditation, right? Seated practice, going all the way to enlightenment awakening, has a process. There are, I wouldn't say shortcuts. I would say there are miracles and there are anomalies out there where someone is born to this life and they are already in an awakened state. But that doesn't necessarily, to me, tell me that they shortcutted anything. It could be like that to an ego. But I would say, no, clearly they had certain amount of forces behind them coming into this life through their past lives and all the things that they had done. And the orchestration of all those energies that specifically allowed for that miracle to come forth. So consider, because miracles are possible, and you could be that miracle. I believe that to be very possible and true. I have absolutely seen miracles in my life. That allowing and letting go and being open to the possibility of miracles is one thing. And then the next thing is doing the work for yourself to put into practice the learnings, the teachings, the successes and failures, to be able to give yourself that personal experience to know what actually is a shortcut for you. Because again, for me, it isn't actually necessarily a shortcut. It's actually recognizing and reaching a point of self-mastery in such a skillful way that you can apply it and people are like, wow, you make it look so easy. And if you're able to make something look easy, dude, you're awesome. Because what you essentially have effectively accomplished in your own life is a form of mastery around a specific gift, a strength that you have innately developed to be able to demonstrate and share with the whole world. So I leave that with you guys today. Have a wonderful day.